Okay, this video is spoiling everything about the Demon Slayer movie, so unless you've seen it or read the manga, you might not want to watch this video. Hey everyone, I'm Wheeze. Thanks for checking out my channel. Consider subscribing if you like this video, and giving this video a like would also help me. Thanks! Okay, I think I've given those people who accidentally clicked on this video enough time to click away. On with the spoilers! I'm going to start with the overall plot and quickly mention a few things I noticed, and then dive into the characters and their big moments. So, I'm a sucker for trains. Trains are so cool. I love stories that take place on trains, or at least with trains involved. It's similar to the reason I like stories in urban environments, because you feel like anything could happen just turning a corner, and I like more heavily populated areas because I hate the feeling of solitude when watching a movie or series. Although, I do like solitude in real life. I'm actually alone as I write this, and I will be alone as I record this, which is now. But also, just the movement of a large machine on tracks with multiple cars to explore is like a small world that you are constricted to, and I just find it cool. The main portion of this movie takes place on the train. The first half, it feels like, is just all the characters sleeping. The first fight with those two random demons at the beginning didn't actually happen, as they had all fallen asleep before it, but I found it interesting that they never alluded to it past that point. I think they just put it in there to have some action since not much was going to happen until Tanjiro woke up. I didn't mind it, but it was a little weird because it didn't do anything for the plot. The concepts of the demon's powers in Demon Slayer are generally really cool, and Enmu, the first main demon they fight on the train, had a really cool power. However, I am overall disappointed in him. I really liked the insane character we saw in the last episode of season 1, but in the end he turned out to be pretty generic. A lot of things he caused were really cool, like having humans who he manipulated by promising to give them good dreams, infiltrate the hero's dreams and kill their spirit, but Enmu's goals and motivations were kinda boring and generic, which sucks because everything else about the character, including the design and voice acting, was really cool. Along with the motivation, certain traits Enmu had felt like it was just for plot convenience, like being extremely cautious, so he didn't just go down and cut the heroes' throats when they were asleep. Although, from what we saw of how Rengoku reacted to almost getting killed in his dream world, it seems like they might have woken up from the presence of a powerful demon. All that said, I did really like the reveal of Enmu merging with the train, because for most of the time, I was just wondering why he was standing there on the train and giving exposition for so long and doing nothing else. The dream sequences were really cool. Through it, seeing the psyche of each character, even if it was a bit generic. Tanjiro's spirit is a beautiful and calming place that changes the heart of the guy with tuberculosis. Rengoku, the flame Hashira, has a fiery passion in his spirit and a strong will to live as he strangles the girl who was about to kill him, which was a really cool moment, and I'm glad it wasn't Tanjiro that saved him at that point, as a lesser story would have done. Zenitsu's spirit is covered in fear and also hatred at anyone that would invade his personal space that isn't beautiful Nezuko, while Inosuke's spirit is just chaos and a power trip, as he wants to be the leader of everyone around him. He freaks out the kid trying to kill him and chases him around for a while. The deeply emotional dreams, Tanjiro having to turn his back on his dead family, and Rengoku reliving his past about his family, contrasted with Zenitsu and Inosuke just being idiots, was actually hilarious. I found it really great that each sleeping hero defeated their own sleep paralysis separately, instead of Tanjiro waking them up and becoming the hero. Then, after that, how they have to work together as a team to defeat the train Enmu was really satisfying. I appreciate the balance of showing struggles you mostly have to solve yourself with things you cannot do without getting help. They were helped a little bit by Nezuko from burning the ropes, but ultimately they had to wake up themselves. Tanjiro was freaking awesome in this movie. I don't think he is one of the best protagonists ever, but he is extremely likable. He realizes killing himself in the dream world causes him to wake up, so later when he fights Enmu on top of the train, Tanjiro quickly kills himself every time Enmu uses his blood demon art, which is incredibly cool. That entire fight sequence was incredibly cool. Right away, I knew that at some point, Tanjiro was going to mistake real life and dream and start to kill himself, which did happen in a great scene with Inosuke stopping him in the final fight against Enmu. Inosuke having a great line about that being a lame way to die, which brings me to his character. After the loss against the spider demon in season 1, Inosuke was super depressed for a while, realizing how weak he really was. After going through all that which calmed him him down a little, he is still the same character, although now not as much of a loose cannon, and he is great. He was probably my least favorite of the 4 main characters, but now he might become my favorite. Originally, he felt like only a comedy relief character, but now he feels much more like a real person. Even if he is still crazy about wanting power and authority, he feels more realistic and actually feels fear during the Rengoku versus Akaza fight, and won't run in headfirst as he used to do during every battle he saw. My favorite part is how he and Tanjiro team up when trying to kill the now part train demon Enmu, and how Inosuke listens to Tanjiro's ideas and they actually work together in the battle. Although Inosuke keeps his persona of being the prideful leader and know-it-all, even though he is now much more reasonable. Zenitsu and Nezuko didn't get as much attention, but what they got was still good, and watching them team up in the fight was also cool. Nezuko being a demon and Zenitsu being completely worthless unless he was asleep confused the heck out of Enmu, which was pretty funny. Zenitsu is an awesome character, I just really like him, even if he is annoying at times. His lightning and sleep fighting I really like, and seeing him flash through the train as he fought the tendrils and protected the passengers was awesome. Nezuko is great as always. Watching her fight really hard against the train Enmu was really cool, as she protected the passengers. But she is not a good fighter because it's not like she's been trained. However, she does have a lot of Muzan's blood, so she is super strong. So it makes sense that she takes a lot of damage and often gets taken down in a fight, but she also hits really hard. Being in martial arts, I know that anyone can throw a punch. It's not that hard, but being able to defend is what really makes you a good fighter. So having Zenitsu protect her at times really made sense and made me like their dynamic in fighting. And now I'm going over the final fight. Tanjiro and Inosuke take down Enmu, all the other demon slayers protect everyone on the train, and Tanjiro gets a wound from the train conductor who stabbed him. Then Akaza shows up. This is the part that felt like the end of an episode cliffhanger. I wish there was just a little foreshadowing to his appearance. If Enmu would have just said something about someone is watching him, or why is he in this area, or something like that to give us a small hint, but I think this was specifically because this was a movie. In an anime or a manga, it probably would feel much more natural. But despite that minor criticism, the ensuing fight was freaking awesome. Akaza's introduction made up for my disappointment in Enmu, him practically begging Rengoku to become a demon so they can both have fun fighting each other and become stronger was very interesting. Rengoku was a much better fighter than Akaza, but because Akaza was a demon, he was automatically going to win because he could regenerate, whereas Rengoku was getting better attacks in, but they did nothing to him. And that almost seemed to make Akaza sad, but by the end, you were reminded of the demon's very present weakness of sunlight, as Akaza had to run even though he had defeated his opponent. Rengoku felt peace in his defeat, as he did enough to prevent the deaths of the people on the train and protect the inexperienced demon slayers with him. Even though he was not able to kill the demon, he cared much more about the lives he saved, while Tanjiro wanted revenge against the demon that killed such a great man. The final scene of Rengoku seeing his mother and asking if he did a good job with his life hit really hard, and it's really cool to see how such a powerful person still wanted affirmation from someone else for his life. And when she says yes, he has a huge smile on his face, as he feels satisfied with the life he led, despite his father not being supportive of his choices. Besides for that, there was nothing incredible that I can point to, or something that was unique about the fight to make it so amazing, except the animation, which used a perfect amount of explaining the fighting techniques that they were doing, while keeping the fast-paced action that made it look extremely beautiful. However, everything was executed so well, plus the brutal reality that right after Tanjiro kills a very powerful demon, he gets a reminder of how weak he truly is. Rengoku was overall a beautiful character. His backstory and resolve made him very inspirational as a person that truly cared about everyone around him, and would not even consider falling to the temptation of joining a completely overpowered enemy. The amount that I cared about this character from one arc was actually impressive. Overall, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie, Mugen Train, these freaking anime titles, is a great movie and a really fun experience. I've only seen a few anime movies, but this one is my second favorite to the Konosuba movie. Alright, that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed this. Please consider subscribing and liking the video if you liked it. I make one video a week so I won't bombard your subscription feed. And click the bell if you want notifications for my future videos. If you comment, I will respond, as I am not that big, so I can still talk to all of you who watch my videos, and I really enjoy hearing what you think. Thank you so much for spending your time watching my video. Jam meow!